we have the Six of Swords. So whether this is speaking to singles or those of you who are in romantic connections, with the Six of Swords, this is about moving past defensive energy and strategic energy. Specifically for singles, it's about moving past guardedness, past, not being vulnerable and being kind of on the guard and playing it strategic to the point where you're blocking love. So the Six of Swords would be having clarity and moving past that energy. For those of you who are in romantic connections, this could speak to your love interest, but basically both of you. This is about moving past, as I said, defensiveness, guardedness. On the lighter side, for some of you, it's about moving past someone's defensiveness and guardedness, yours or your love interest. But on the more extreme side, it's about moving past conflict, moving past maybe a level of toxicity, pressing each other's buttons. But at the heart of it, it is about moving past a, vulnerability that stems from a deeper hurt and is expressing itself as guardedness, defensiveness, being strategic, not letting down your walls. And for some of you, being very, confrontational, maybe purposely pushing each other's buttons or being very kind of fixed in your position. Okay. When the Six of Swords shows up, it contains Five of Swords energy. And this is a, win at all costs energy. And the flip of that is not losing, not getting hurt, not being, perceived as vulnerable. Okay. So what you're dealing with, singles and attached, moving past that energy. Challenge, obstacle, or blockage you face in regards to the situation. Okay, we have the Lovers. So basically, it is about having clarity and moving past that vulnerability, but your challenge is the clarity itself with the Lovers. The Lovers is about union, but first and foremost, it is about internal union. Okay, union of the conscious, the subconscious, of the masculine, the feminine. Basically, it's about alignment so that one can make a decision. And I feel like clarity about how to move forward for singles. Is it time? Should I let go of the hopes of, reconnecting with an ex? Or am I ready to move forward in love? There is pointing to, these cards are pointing to the fact that, and of course, Lovers is your energy, but these cards are pointing to the fact that there isn't alignment and there's uncertainty because there's defensiveness and guardedness, because there's a deeper core wound, sadness that has not been resolved. Okay. For those of you who are couples or in a romantic connection or have your eye on someone, with the Lovers, this could be your love interest energy, but likely it's yours, or whoever is showing up as a Six of Swords, needing to get past that either toxic dynamic or, guardedness. There is a disalignment where there isn't certainty within about saying yes and moving forward, or saying yes and reconciling either yourself or your love interest. Core issue of the situation, as I said, Three of Swords, there's an unresolved deeper wound. Now, between the two of you, let's start with those of you who are in romantic connections. There may have very well been hurt, betrayal, a breakup, something like that. However, now this speaks to both singles and those of you in romantic connections. The deepest reason is there is hurt that has been experienced. However, it's really a re-experiencing of a deeper, older wound when it comes to love. Because the Three of Swords, all threes are the first creation of their suit. Okay, so the Three of Swords, when it shows up, it points to that first experience of real hurt and sorrow. Okay, and when it shows up, it is a re-experiencing. So, yes, for those of you who have gone through a breakup or betrayal or hurt feelings in a relationship, you definitely are hurt. There is definitely reasons for that, but why it's so painful and why it's causing all this guardedness and indecision about reconciliation or moving forward for singles, moving on and getting back out there, is because there's an unresolved core emotional wound that needs to be dealt with, healed, and processed. Significant past, which has led to the current situation. We have the Nine of Swords. So what has led to this current situation about, is it time, for singles to move forward and get back out there? Or how do I move forward and meet the right person? For those of you who are in romantic connections, the reason why is both singles and those who are in romantic connections who are dealing with indecision about reconciliation or forgiveness or moving things forward. Whatever the case is, singles or in romantic connection with the Nine of Swords, there's been a lot of anxiety and stress, a lot of worry. Worry about what? Yes, specifically, and it'll be different for each of you in your, specific cases. For those in romantic connections who've dealt with, who are dealing now with reconciliation, will it happen again? Can I trust them? Sleepless nights, worrying and worrying and worrying. What are they doing? They're not acting right, blah, blah, blah. For those who are in romantic connections, is this the right person, who are not dealing with reconciliation? Is this the right person? Am I making a mistake? Where is this going? Things like that. For singles, why isn't it happening? Why is love not happening? Is it time for me? I'm supposed to be getting back out there. Am I ready? Am I not ready? Rumination, anxiety, and fear, which, as I said, has now led you to the current situation of really getting to, you're dealing with, making a decision, essentially. And in order to make that decision, you have to get past that uncertainty, singles or those who are in romantic connections. The reason why there isn't certainty and alignment in what to do in each of your cases, which will all be different, is the unresolved core issue. Okay, the deeper pain. And that's not to say for those of you who are dealing with, painful relationships or, breakups and things like that, that whatever has happened between the two of you, it's not cause for sorrow. But the depth, right? And the impact of that pain, why it's so intense, is because it's a re-experiencing of an undealt with deeper core issue. Libra, where you're at currently, and I think I said this is your energy. That's not right. With the Lovers, this is Gemini energy. Excuse me about that. Where you're at currently, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, in regards to this situation, please keep in mind it is a general reading, so this could easily be your love interest energy. And for singles, when I was dealing in the intentions of each of the card placements, if you don't have your eye on someone, this would be someone who has their eye on you. But once again, being that this is a general reading, this could be your energy. This could easily be your love interest energy or someone who is interested in you for singles. With a High Priestess, I feel it's likely it's your energy. This is Piscean energy. Okay, Pisces may be significant. A Gemini may be significant. But with the High Priestess, where you're at is going within to get clarity, which is very positive. Now, your love interest could also be doing this, but this again speaks to decision and certainty by tuning in to your deeper knowing, which makes a lot of sense because this is the Pisces full moon. So intuitively, you are receiving messages and the answer does lie within. It's a matter of going within about, are you ready? Should you? Shouldn't you? All those things. You do know the answer. It's a matter of going within and, finding the answers there. Okay. where your love interest is at, or someone who's interested in you, in regards to you in this situation. And again, this could easily be your energy. We have the Three of Pentacles. For many of you, this is about reconciliation. This person with the Three of Pentacles wants to work things out. Now, it's not just about, working together and, teamwork. It's teamwork in its deepest meaning. It means understanding one another, one's limitations, one's capabilities, meeting in the middle, really being dedicated to building a strong foundation. And this person is, whether it's your energy or your love interest energy. And for singles, this could also be your energy or someone who is interested in you. So you're definitely trying to, for those in love connections, figure out, should I move this forward? Should I give them a second chance? Is this right? Should I continue down this path? This other person, and it could be that they're thinking this, and it could be that you're wanting to work things out, but this other person does want to work things out, but they want to do it in a truly, let's be real and really get to know each other and truly understand, and lay our cards out on the table and be patient with one another, be understanding with one another, meet in the middle. And this doesn't mean, the Three of Pentacles often shows up when someone needs understanding and they feel, whether or not they're meeting your standards, or the other person's standards, that they're misunderstood and they would like understanding and cooperation and more, slack. Okay. And this is not speaking to situations that are fully toxic and abusive and things like that. I'm not getting that energy here. Okay. Likely outcome of the situation. Yeah. Five of Swords, and we have the Page of Wands. Okay. So with a Page of Wands, a fire sign may be significant. An Aries, a Sagittarius, a Leo. However, where I see this going is, I feel that someone will be moving forward, but I feel it's going to be more of the same. Okay. With the Page of Wands, this person, and it could very well be, okay, for those of you who are in romantic connections and you're the one, whoever's the one who is the one to make a decision about whether to move forward with this person or not, reconcile or not, keep, trying. If you haven't fully broken up, clearly you're not happy. And there's a lot of guardedness, because now the Five of Swords has shown up twice, being contained in the Six of Swords. So where I see this going for many of you, I'm not going to mince words, you are going to be going in a new direction. I do feel the reason why is with the Five of Swords, you're going to be guarded, and you're going to make a calculated decision in your best interest. And the Five of Swords, though, I have to point out, it is not high vibrational energy. Okay. It's called, it's referred to as, a lose-lose situation, or, or winning at all costs. Okay. And it shows, because of this vulnerability, someone is not willing to, let down that guard, and they feel it's in their best interest because their ego has been hurt, their pride has been hurt. They're not going to risk it again. And for that reason, I do feel they're going to be moving in a new direction, and they're going to be moving on. Now, alternatively, to be fair, some of you can be trying to move things forward, but the guardedness is going to hold, and either yourself or your love interest, and it's going to be more of the same. If there's been toxicity, there will continue to be toxicity. Perhaps a brief, passionate kind of a rekindling, and then going back into guarded, defensive kind of energy. And if the two of you have toxic energy, there is going to be more of that. Okay. For singles, I do feel that the Page of Wands and the Five of Swords is speaking to the fact that you are going to be moving forward, but you're going to be still doing it in a very guarded, strategic way. And I just want to point out, what's right for you is what's right for you. Okay. But Five of Swords energy and High Priestess energy and the Lover's energy is not all on the same type of vibration. Okay. Five of Swords energy is egoic energy. It's protecting, and sometimes that's necessary, but it is protecting a lower vibrational kind of sense of self, the ego. I deserve this and you did this to me, and I'm not going to be vulnerable, and I can't get past the hurt, and I will not, take into consideration anything else. And for some of you, that's what's needed. But it is important, whether you move on or try again, that you remove yourself from and you clear up the deeper wound, because what's present in the Six of Swords and Five of Swords is the Three of Swords energy. The Three of Swords energy is present in the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords energy is present in the Six of Swords. So the Three of Swords is shown up 3 times, meaning this core issue, regardless of what this person has done to you, and regardless of what you've experienced for singles in your past, this unresolved pain is not guiding you in a high vibrational way. It is basically dictating how you move, and therefore it will block out pain, but it will also block out positive experiences and love connections that could be very, beneficial and spiritually nourishing and emotionally fulfilling. So it's something to keep in mind. I do see singles and those who are in romantic connections moving forward, but it is in a guarded way. And I see many of you who are dealing with reconciliation, choosing to not let down the guard, hold your position, and moving on, okay, from this connection. I feel that this Pisces full moon is sending you a lot of messages right now. So it would, be obviously beneficial, and it can be very overwhelming also for air signs especially, and fire signs. It could be very overwhelming, and you could be feeling very upset right now, and everything feels very intense, but there's something there that's leading you to address this. So, food for thought. Long night, moon darkness. You are entering a time of introversion, a leaner time, or a time to turn inward to plan and strategize. You're already on that track. It is time to do shadow work, which will bring big dividends later. Release what no longer works for you.